All right, everybody, we are logged in, ready to go. It is the Monday night team call for Team Vitality Alliance. I am excited to bring you some information, kind of piggybacking off of the National Wake Up Call that we had this morning. If you haven't listened to that, go and check it out. I'm going to go over just a couple of the tips from that, and then just bring you some other information. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of a potential free group that we could do as a group. And I have some other examples too that I will tell you, because I really got excited about it this morning and kind of put together a couple of free different groups, ideas on groups that we could do. But we'll go into that. Okay, so this is about free groups and why running in them is important, and kind of how to get them going, and how you can convert people from your free group into your paid groups and potentially even to coaches. So this morning on the National Wake Up Call, they were talking about how, because our social media is just sort of inundated with lots of different multi-level marketing companies, the Hey Girl message that we send out definitely doesn't get as well received as it used to a few years ago. So, I know that we are very authentic in what we send out. We are, genuine in the messages that we put, but still there's just that, stereotyping that happens just when people receive it. It kind of gets them on guard. I know when I receive them from others, I get on kind of on the defensive a little bit. So this is kind of how, if you take the perspective of the free group as kind of replacing the Hey Girl message, because when we were sending out and you still want to send out private messages, right? You still want to connect, and you still want to be authentic in starting up those conversations. So don't stop that. But the free groups, what that can do is it's just a way to help you connect and build relationships. And so this morning on the National Wake Up Call, and Leah touched on it in her live video, was if you can make a list of what your 10, 15 interests are, things that you are excited about, that, are part of your life, and things that you want to share with others. Those are kind of some themes that you can have for your free groups. And one we spoke about this morning was Leah and I were, having a budget tips and tricks kind of group. Helping people, especially with the holidays coming up, helping them to figure out their budget, to be able to save some money so they can pay for cash for Christmas. And along that way, it also kind of teaches them how to be better, financially aware. You can kind of talk to them about, you find out what their financial situation is. They may be a potentially good coach prospect. You can help them save money so that if they are interested in getting a challenge group later down the road, you can help them work that in. So although we go into the free groups without any really, the premise of selling them, we do want to kind of build those relationships and see if there are people within the group that you can help with challenge groups or with the coach opportunity. So the ones that I was thinking about, it's always kind of has a little bit of a twist on it. So even like with the budget tips and tricks, part of it, you can show them how meal planning and grocery shopping on the weekend saves them money when they go and bulk shop, so it just kind of has those nuances to it. Okay, so we start out with knowing who your market is, knowing what your interests are. Those are the themes for the groups that you could run. And you can do groups individually. You can do them as a team with, co-hosting it with some other coaches who share similar interests. So I thought it was fun that we put it out on the team page, what our interests are, and we can see where some of us are like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of us that like hiking, or a bunch of us that like gardening, or, a bunch of us like crafts and things like that. So might start masterminding together and creating, some content together, and start creating a list or ideas for the next 3-4 months out of some groups that you could do. So when you run your free group, it can be 3 days, 5 days, 7 days. Some do it 14 days. And even I was listening to a few other, I Googled and did some resource, studying up, like some people run continual free groups. And so it's really what is going to work for you. And And, sometimes it may be just dependent on what that theme is. I was thinking, if it were a hiking group that I wanted to start, it's like maybe we can't get together for 5 days of hiking. That might not just work for busy moms, right? But it may be one that I run for the summer kind of thing, right? And we talk about different hikes. We go hiking together. We talk about snacks, and how we bring our animals, how we bring the kids, and the good hikes for that. So really, the length of the free group could be dependent on what your theme is. Generally, though, 3, 5, 7-day groups are best, because you do want to invest a lot of in time and input into it to make sure you're getting great engagement, because it's kind of like this example of who you are as a coach, and it's like a mini sneak peek in what a challenge group would be. Especially if you're doing like a clean eating or, a food and fitness kind of a free group. It is definitely like a real glimpse into what a larger, more a premium sort of VIP group would be. So you definitely want to be in there, participating, being enthusiastic, coming at them like a rock star, like Nani would say, and just bring lots of enthusiasm to them. So you want to figure out what your theme is based on what your interests are, figure out what your length is going to be. If you're going to be doing it by yourself or with some other coaches, start masterminding together, creating that outline and what the content is going to be, who's going to be responsible for presenting or posting certain different pieces of it if you're doing it as a kind of a group effort. And then you also want to create your marketing schedule, right? And when we're talking about this free group, these are all similar things that you can apply to your challenge groups that you're running, right? So it's just on a bigger scale with a little more investment involved in the people that are participating. So you've set your date, you've figured out what it's going to be, how long it's going to be, who's going to be responsible for which pieces if you're doing it as a team, and then you create your marketing schedule. So you know the date, you want to back up at least 10 days, right? Start putting some ads, posts out there, announcing it. I would say within 10 days, you do it at least 3 times, and then you reach out to do a lot of the personal connections. Hey, I don't know if you saw a free ad or a free group coming up, but I think you'd love it. I know you like gardening, whatever, if it's a gardening thing. And I'd love to pop you in there if you'd be interested, if you want to be a part of it. Or if you are forming with somebody and you're inviting them to a paid challenge group and they say, oh, it's just not going to work for me, I don't have the money right now. It's like, well, I got this free group. Maybe you would like to join in with that. And so that's always a good backup to have. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm being quiet. Okay. All right. So when you're creating, now Facebook has done, we used to do events, and that's still okay. But also Facebook now is really looking at groups. They're really trying to get more groups out in front of more people's eyes because of that community thing. They want more people involved right on Facebook. So if you create a group, you can make it private or secret, right? You want to be able to control who's coming into the group so that you know who's coming into the group. So you want to create that, make it, have your stuff uploaded, have a welcome video, and have that before you bring people to the party, right? You want them to come and just feel like, yes, this is, why do I want to stay here? Why do I want to be here? Like you're having a party at home and it's like there's no music playing and there's no decorations and there's no snacks. Like, how quick can I leave? So you want to make it a party and you want to make it fun. So you get that all set up and then you start, putting people in there. You can do things like refer a friend, have a quick, fun little prize like that you draw. Maybe that first day, if anybody who's brought a friend with them gets entered into a prize, and it's just something fun, something small. Message everybody in the group that you put in the group. Just glad you're participating. I look forward to getting to know, or learning from you while we're doing this, depending on, what the theme is. And if they have that particular interest as well, you look at their Facebook page, see who they are, what they've been doing, and you can comment and just make it personal to them. Because again, remember that we're doing this to help build relationships and get to know people and see if there is that the connection there. Seeing if they're your vibe, if they're your tribe, right? And if it's something that relationship you want to continue on. So let me see here. So then you're doing your group. again, you've built your content, so you want to know what you're going to be doing for the 3, 5, 7 days, whatever it is. Making sure you're in there posting and engaging on the people's comments, doing the side conversations throughout, and then following up with everybody on the end. It is good to have like some sort of tracker, a Google Sheets or something like that, that you can track who's in this month's group and notes about, you know, why they were in that group, you know, potentially, you know, when you're going to follow up with them later if you didn't get them to convert over to your paid group. Okay, so I'm going to share a screen real quick because I just put together a couple things because one of the ones that we were talking about was this budgeting. So I'll just, first of all, it's just, you know, free group. The post idea here, can you see that? You can see that? Okay. So just to have kind of like your text together, the post idea of, you know, why they want to do this, what they can expect, and how they get, you know, to become a part of it. So think about that. We talked a little this morning too about, you know, the why. Start with the why, and the why is really good. That gets people want to know why you're doing things and why it's important to them, why they would want to be a part of it. So when you're crafting your post, think about that first line. What's going to engage them? Why would they even want to know more about this? So with, you know, and just putting that together, so then you can craft that and you can tweak this, because if you're posting 3 times over the, you know, the next 10 days, if you have a group coming up, then you can tweak this as your post text and then create just some graphics that are going to go with it, right? So like I just did this quick one, you know, if we're talking about, and actually, I'll tell you honestly, I went and I looked at Jen Richardson, who presented this morning on National Wake Up Call, and looked at some of her ideas that she had for free groups and kind of copy and pasted some things just for ideas. Now, of course, we want to look at the ideas and then tweak them, because this is what she had down, right? I've done the Dave Ramsey, so I could definitely talk about this, and debt management. I'm not a big couponer, although I do, but maybe somebody else who's going to co-host this group with me has like, oh, you can go get great coupons from this site, and you can do, you know, here's how I do this. So that person who's doing it with you may be able to offer that up. But if nobody really has that expertise, then you want to tweak that, right? You want to put something in there that speaks from you authentically on things that you know and can share. Grocery shopping, always good. Friday savings tips, we could do that. Life hacks to save money. You know, I was looking at potential ideas on that, like how to, you know, create your own dressings to save money, your own household cleaners, things like that are healthy and environmentally friendly, that save you money. And then, like, and I was thinking of Holly on this one, family fun on a budget. You know, I know she's done the Dave Ramsey thing, and she's all about having fun. We know Miss Holly, so you know, maybe she could offer something there. So you want that outline, and then, you know, create some fun graphics around it. Like I was thinking, and she had this out there, and I found it out on Pinterest. But, you know, you'd have them just like save some money in a jar, do something fun. So it's not just all, you know, we want to like what engages them. This is social media, and people want to be socially, and they want to be entertained. So we can inform them, we can educate them, and we can entertain them. And if we're all doing things fun together, it just kind of makes it a better experience. So they see that it's not all about just like, what would be the experience if I were to join a challenge group with her? Would it just be like hardcore sweating and she's going to make me I can't eat my cheesecake, you know? No, it's going to be fun. We're going to have substitutions. We're going to do some other things. So that's really, you just got to, in the back of your mind, think about, this is my interview process as a coach. This is going to show them what my group would be like and why they should join me. Okay, I am going to stop share that. So just some of the other things that I had, you know, like a lot of people do the free clean eating groups, and that is great. That is great. And we have the Clean Week coming up in September. I think September 23rd that comes out. And that's going to be awesome. I'm definitely going to take advantage of that and use that, because it's going to have the recipes. It's going to have the full menu. It's going to have workouts from, I can't remember her name, but one of the brand new, Megan Trainor, I think is her name, from the 20s. And she was the new trainer that got picked then. And so she's going to have some neat little workouts that we can just post in there of exercises taken from some of the different Beachbody workouts. So definitely I'll be doing that. But then thinking of another group that I might be able to do, you know, that's going to be fun on the side that speaks to my audience. Back to school, doing some kid-friendly lunches, how to fit work, exercise into the mom busy life. That's a good one, the back to school challenge. We got holidays coming up. So, you've got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. You can do free groups around that. Healthy snacks, healthy tricks and treats for the kids and for the moms. You can do Thanksgiving and having healthy desserts and dishes, or a craft kind of thing if you're a crafty person. Just budgeting one is great because the intention is to help them save cash for Christmas. And then also, I love it because it'll show them you can save money. And if you put away just a little bit at a time, whatever your goal is, you can achieve it by just doing small little actions. And then you can also save up for like this, the graphic that I had, one was a vacation fund, one was a pretty dress fund. So maybe one is your challenge group fund. If people are interested in joining, this is your challenge group fund. You're going to put some money in this, and then, you'll be able to save up that money for that. And of course, there's always the specialty ones like abs and booty workout and crock pots and squats and things like that you can do just to make it fun. Something that's got the clean eating and the exercise around it, but it's like you hear it all the time: 7-day free clean eating. Okay, but that's not that's white noise. So make it something more fun and something seasonal. Okay, so that was what I had to start. But so I guess one of the other things too is a couple of tips. If you're running a group, that don't close the group down, right? Keep them in there, because then they are the people that you can go into that group and you can say, hey, I've got my next group is starting up on August 21st. I'm giving you guys first chance to get into the group because you were in my free group and we're awesome. So it's kind of that way to just get a little extra invite out there. And then if you've got a free group that is like an ongoing group, then you have just this community of people that have an interest in, they're your audience, right? And it's this ongoing free group. So if you do an ongoing one though, you got to be able to keep it going. You got to stay engaged in that, and you got to keep the relationships going. You got to keep checking back. So that one probably take a little more work, but it would be a central place where you have people that are interested in one spot. And you can always reach out to them and again, do that. Hey, you guys are like my VIPs. I'm giving you first shot at my next food and fitness accountability group starting in 2 weeks. Is anybody interested, or anybody want to join in? That kind of thing. So there's different strategies to do. And I would just first start with your interests, see if anybody else wants to do it with you, and start developing content. And this is a process of learning and tweaking and, learning what works and learning, what you could do better and what you could improve upon. And then, of course, you want to reach out and follow up with everyone, see what they learned, and make sure you're asking positive questions. What's the best thing they got out of it? What changes did they make? What would they like to see more of? And then, obviously that's where you can lead into the invitation to your paid group. And when you're inviting to the free group, that kind of gives you that boost of confidence too. That kind of gets you that practice of inviting to something. So I would encourage you to look at your interests, look at what you can do over the next 3-4 months, look at if you want to do it as a team, and then start setting those dates so that you have dates to invite somebody to. Personally, I would want to invite to a paid challenge group first, but if people can't do it, then I would definitely fall back with, I've got this free group, you would love it, and get them in there so you keep building that relationship with them. Because as you do these, and especially if they're on interests that you have, and if they have it, you're getting to know each other. They're getting to trust you. They're getting to see who you're all about. They get to see you're genuine, that you're not just going to dump and run kind of thing, that you truly are investing time in them. And a lot of people come out of that with sticking with you, Okay, so I want to see Sonia, if she can just give a little feedback. She just finished up a free meal planning group, And she really did a great job. So if you want to just offer a little bit of feedback, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Hi, thanks, Louise.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. And it's funny because I decided to do this clean eating group in like a 2-day period because I was heavy in my invites and I wanted to have something else to invite people to, and not just the challenge. Well, because we had finished inviting to the challenge group that I just started yesterday, and so I wanted a transitional group. What I did was not just clean eating. I called it maximize your life and your results through clean eating. And so what I was really focused on, because what I've learned through the Team Beachbody program is, when I eat organic, when I eat clean food and I eliminate the processed food, my body's processes operate more efficiently, right? So I have better results on a physical level. And that's what happened with me when I started the 21-Day Fix program. And so I knew there had to be resources in there somewhere that looked at that, why we eat the portions of proteins and veggies and carbs that we do and why we eat clean. And so I did some research on teambeachbody.com. And so I found some blog articles and I found some videos. And I also did, if you don't know, Darren Olayan, the author of Super Life, he's the one that co-formulated Shakeology with Carl Daikeler's wife. And so I went to the nutrition section of his book and I read through that. And so the first day I focused on why clean eating, what clean eating. And then I looked at the second day, we looked at the how that maximizes your potential or your ability to produce and show up in general, and looked at organics and why when we eliminate the chemicals from food, how that helps our overall processing. And then the third day, I helped them build a meal plan. And then I used the resources and lessons learned. I probably too heavily used the resources from Team Beachbody, or how about I should have redone a video or maybe summarized more what I had learned as opposed to just automatically posting Team Beachbody articles and references. But I did also use the meal plans from Hammer and Chisel, and I used the meal plan from the 21-Day Fix because I also had some of my gals in there to work on their food planning for this upcoming challenge, and talk to them. I gave them the substitution for the containers, what the actual measurements were for each of the types of food groups, and help them learn how to build their own meal plan. And then I asked them to do a shopping list and to go shopping and to post their meal plan and to post their a recipe or their food prep. But then we got that gorgeous weather for the last weekend, and there was actually a lot of engagement. I had people show up at my live presentation of building a meal plan, and there was a bunch of comments and then crickets. So I've talked to Louise about it, and I got my follow-up plan here, and I'm going to let them have until this Sunday to submit a meal plan. I had got one meal plan posted, a couple people who still want to do it, so I'm going to let them do it. And after what Louise just said, I might actually maybe keep this open because I'd like to keep it as a support, an open free group, but I would only provide the content once or twice a month, and maybe more specifically when I'm about to run people through a new challenge group. But maybe I'm trying to hit too many audiences. I don't know. I appreciate your feedback. I think that was it.
Yeah, that was good. She had really great engagement in there, but yeah, the sunshine on the last week, of summer here hit, and it slowed down. So that was just normal. That's just part of what happens this time of year. There's you can try it, and if things don't work, then you learn from it and you do things differently. That's kind of a lot of what we do, how we learn, everybody, and how you make it your own. So definitely, even with the Coach Sneak-Peeks, we leave them open so people can come in and look at them. You may make your own videos and replace the other ones and see if they get more well received, and just kind of use that as your testing ground. and just kind of go from there. Yeah. And I'm glad you have a follow-up plan. So that's important, because you're putting in all this work. You're, you know, you got people that are interested, and the fortune is in the follow-up. So, all right. Does anybody else have any other questions? The last thing I just forgot to talk about too was, you know, depending on the group you're running and if this is appropriate or not, you can ask them if they'd be willing to get a free Team Beachbody account, especially if you're running, you know, something that's food and fitness related. And then you can have in there showing them all these resources that you have, that they have available to them right at their fingertips. You could offer the free one, and then that at least gets them connected to you as their coach. That way, if they do go and buy something, you know, without telling you, which happens a lot, then they're already connected to you as their coach. And then you could say there's the free one, and then there's optional 14-day free trial if you actually want to try some of the workouts too, you know. So give them that option, but it's still free, right? So there's that. Okay, so if you're watching the recording and you have any questions, definitely comment below. I know that as a team, we will do some different free groups together. So if there's some you're interested in, let's definitely get into a message thread and chat about it, and get a mastermind group put together and get those created and scheduled out, because it's just a great way to transition people that you're making conversations with and building relationships with. So definitely, and also definitely ask for questions, or ask questions below. Okay, so the last, yep.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody has a free Team Beachbody account, they have access to like all those videos and blog articles and everything that are on the website, right?
Just the teambeachbody.com. If it's a free account, just the teambeachbody.com. Anything that's in there. But there is, people who have the paid membership have access to a little bit more information. So it's their base site that they have access to. And then they don't have access to anything on the Beachbody On Demand.
Okay.
Unless they have that 14-day free trial.
So the blog is on a different page, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the Beachbody On Demand, but there's a lot of good articles already in teambeachbody.com. So, okay. Yeah, and some of it's duplicate, honestly. So we have 9 minutes left. I guess the last thing is just, and again, if you're watching the recording, what would you like to know more about? Any other things that relate to the coaching business, or where you're at, whether you're a hobby coach, whether you're just getting the discount, or whether you want to run and build a business with this, definitely let us know. Reach out to your coach and let them know, you know, what information that you would like to hear more about, because we'd like to bring you, like, you know, real good value topics and things, so that you have that information. And I think that's it. So again, if you haven't listened to the National Wake Up Call, definitely go and check that out this morning. It was super good.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to see, so Sonia, what was your end result for your challenge group, getting, you know, engagement, people wanting to be into your group, or what did you give them for a freemium?
Are you talking about from the free group into the challenge group? So that's the process I'm in right now. There's 3 or 4 of the people that were in the group that are already in my challenge group, and I wanted them to be in there and to be engaged. I know there's one guy who said he wasn't interested, but he's been engaged, so I'll probably revisit him. And there's 2 people that I'll probably actually invite to this upcoming one on the 21st. And then there's 1 or 2 that are kind of like, maybe down the road they might be interested, and I'm just going to stay engaged with them.
Right. So I was just saying, because you know how you said you had to make meal plans, and then you're doing Super Life. Darren O'Lean, he does have a 10-day meal plan thing if you sign up with him, and you can get ideas. So I shared with our mastermind this morning, but this is something you might want to do, is you might want to go ahead and make you one of these, so that you can go ahead and do the Super Life, but you can put his recipes in it. Do 3 breakfasts, 3 lunches, 3 dinners. Right here, I add the snacks for them to have. No different from what we do. Like, you know, Autumn said, is we need to use the tools. So no different from what we do. And then the water, interest, you know, because that's important. We all know half our body weight is what we learn. Your information on the bottom, you know, how to get whatever you want, but you need to give them a freemium. So now that you've had a 7-day clean, whatever, you might want to go ahead and instead of making people make a meal plan, make it for them. They don't want to make it. It's a pain in their butt. Or even like a shopping list, you know, sometimes you give them, they're like, oh, so anyways, that's just a thought. I just wanted, you know, Constance Miller has an awesome ebook. She makes hers very professional. I just make mine basic and I use this, but I give it as a freemium. So after a free group, before they even get in the free group, I get their email and then I have them go ahead and get into my group and then I give them the freemium. So like this is just my summer favorites, but with Super Life, he's got an awesome, you sign up for it, it's a 10 meal and he has all of it in there. You can't copy and paste his, it's totally protected, but you can make yours look professional and simple. Mm-hmm. Just a thought for you, because like Louise said, you put all that work in, you know, and I'm just like, hey, you know, make it simple for people, but give them a freemium at the end, which is a meal plan, and they'll be like, thank you. And then that's when you can kind of go, hey, you know, I'm having a challenge group. This is what I run. This is how we eat and we learn more. Just a, you know, suggestion.
Yep. That's perfect. That would be a great addition to that and a transition into the invite.
Right.
So we have permission to use your idea. I love your idea.
Yeah, on Friday, I'm going to go ahead and go through how to make a basic, simple one. I'll just go for my Friday tip in the ebooks in canva.com for all of us to just make our own with whatever our favorites are, but keep it simple. 3 breakfasts, 3 lunch, 3 dinner, a 7-day, whatever, 2 snacks. Make sure you have the water in there. So definitely, we don't have to mention anything Shakeology or anything, but on the bottom, I do have my website saying if you want a plant-based meal replacement, money back guaranteed, here's my information. But keep it simple, you guys, not so ookie. And, you know, same with her Super Life. I wanted her to keep it simple. 3 breakfasts, 3 lunch, 3 dinner from Darren O'Lean.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody has their own niche, right? Their niche is what they say. But yeah, definitely use it. Find your recipes, but I want it to look professional. So that's why I use Beachbodies. It's just because you can, like Louise will teach you, you know, how to screenshot it. You know what I mean? She can go and screenshot something right now and show you guys how.
Mm-hmm.
Got 4 minutes.
Well, okay, so you just, maybe you already know this, but if you're on a Mac, so I don't know if you're not on a Mac, but so you have your command shift and the number 4, and if you hit those together, you see how it made a little
target.
Yeah, see that? And then so I can go and drag it right here. I let off, and that just took a picture of it, and then it ends up on my desktop as a picture. So if I get out of here, will you be able to see me get in there?
Yep.
Okay. So then for that, and it just ends up as a screenshot. I've done lots of screenshots. And there it is right there. And it's a, what is this one? It's a JPEG, I think, or PNG. So that's just any picture that'll upload to any, like canva.com, or if you need a picture for, you know, your next challenge tracker group and you're looking for the graphic, that works.
Yeah.
So
thanks. Yeah, you guys, when she showed me that, man, I was like, whoo, game on.
Yeah.
You know, anybody had a picture and I was like, oh, you know, even when I did my slideshows, you know, the coaches were like, where'd you get your slides from, Nani? And I'm like, I watched a slideshow from YouTube and I was like screenshotting. And then I made my own for one of my things.
Yeah.
So use your tools, man. But if you guys, Friday, if you get all your photos ready for your recipes and the recipe itself, we can all go and get on Friday and make our own 333s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's great. Maybe have something to give to them.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
start.
Mm-hmm.
Freemium.
I mean, I do like the concept of showing them how to build a meal plan, because we kind of do that when we get people started in our challenge group, instead of just handing them one. But as you're teaching them, they can build it, or you can also give them that and say, here, get started with this one. This is what it looks like, you know, and what would you tweak when you're building your own? So, but having that to be able to give them, because yeah, I know I want that people just to give it to me, man.
Yeah, and then we teach
I want
them
them to cook it for me too.
Yeah. And we teach them the containers.
Yeah. Well, we have less than 1 minute. Thank you, ladies, all for getting on tonight and being patient with my internet connection issue. So any other questions, just put it down below and I will post the recording.
You guys are all welcome to my my group. I have a Matsu Friends of Pets.
Oh, yeah.
And I started that a little over a year ago.
Oh, cool. I've seen it out there. Yeah.
Yep.
All
Anyway.
right. Cool.
Talk to you later. All right. Bye.
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 Nani, get back here. Hurry up. Okay. Anyway. Wait, we got Krista's armpit. Hurry, Krista. Okay. There we go. Bye, everybody.
Bye.